Hello, everyone, and welcome to Influential Leadership Tips. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm John Hadley.
John, today I want to talk about the difference between intention and action.
A great topic.
Yes, and you know where I'm going with this, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of coaching revolves around working with someone's intentionality, working with their motivation, working with engagement, getting your head in the right place. And that's all important. And we've talked a lot about that in some of our tips about, the role of focus, for example, and things like that. But ultimately, what is the key thing that actually changes someone's situation? It's taking action, right?
Absolutely. It's like that webinar series, I've been taking that. I bet you half the people on the call are not doing the homework. They're just listening to the webinar, maybe getting distracted by other things, and they're not taking the action, and they are not getting the results from the series.
Yeah, it's really interesting. That reminds me of a colleague of mine who is a professional speaker, and he had a tape program back when they had cassette tapes. Things weren't digital back then. He had a 10-tape program that he sold. He sold 1,000 of these from a certain promotion. And his duplicator called him and said, John, his name was John too, we have a problem. Tape 5 is blank. And he's like, well, how did that happen? He goes, I don't know. Somehow the master was blank, so we copied a blank tape onto a blank tape. So every set we have sent out there has a blank tape number 5. And John said, well, that's not really a problem because I have this guarantee that if there's a problem with any tape, you just call our 800 number and we'll send you a new one. So we'll just do that. So out of 1,000 people, how many calls do you think they got?
I would like to think a lot.
5.
Yeah, but I bet you're going to surprise me.
7. Now, maybe part of that was because at the end of tape 4, John said, before you go on to tape 5, do everything you've learned so far, put it into practice, and then move on.
Absolutely.
They didn't make it to tape 5, even to tape 4. They didn't, that part scared them. But nevertheless, you get the idea. Another colleague of mine who was into bodybuilding, he said when he first started working with his trainer says, now look, we can do this one of 2 ways. The first way is you can eat right and exercise, do affirmations every morning, stand naked in front of the mirror to motivate yourself, have sessions with a counselor to get your mindset right. That's way 1. Way 2 is to eat right and exercise. So you can choose which way you want to do it. So again, action is what makes the difference. Now, what got me thinking about this tip was something you wrote me this week about how you thought we should raise the bar and some of the things we're doing with these tips. So why don't you share what you were thinking about there?
Yeah. I mean, we've been giving homework assignments at the end of each tip as a way to get people, moving, taking some action. But we don't have a way of seeing, are people actually acting on that? I think sometimes, just creating some accountability around that makes all the difference in the world as to whether people really are getting the most out of this.
Yeah, and I love that idea. And so what you and I came up with, I'll just share with our subscribers. And if you look at our newsletter, I'm going to share this screen with you so I can show you what I'm talking about. You'll see at the bottom of our newsletter here, there is an invitation to take the Influential Leadership Assessment. And what you do is click this link. Let me do a new share so I can show you this website here. It'll take you to this website, and you'll have a choice. You want to take one of these 2 assessments. So if you're a leader that works in a corporate situation, you want this first link. If you're a leader that is in a consulting firm or your own entrepreneurial practice, you want to take this one here. So if you click that, it'll take you to the place where you put your information in so we can get back in touch with you. You continue on with this tool called the Change Grid. That's step 1 of the process, and you take the assessment. Assessment will take you no longer than 15 minutes to complete. Step 2 is go back to that email where the newsletter is, reply to it, and that lets you and me know, reply to me and John, that Dave, John, I've done this, contact me for a debrief session. Now, this tool that you've taken, this assessment you've taken, is like an MRI for your leadership abilities. And John and I are certified in how to read this MRI for you. We're going to do that. Plus, we are going to work with you to co-create a 90-day plan to improve your leadership. It's a leadership development plan. We're doing this all free of charge. But there are some conditions, right, John?
Absolutely. I mean, we can only do so many of these. I mean, we've got a very long list of subscribers here. So we're going to commit to do these complimentary for the first 10 who respond on a first come, first served basis.
Right. So make sure you do that right away. Right after you finish watching this video, go for it and send that email to us, and we'll get together with you. We'll schedule something on the phone in the last 30 to 45 minutes. Challenge yourself as a leader. Raise the bar on yourself. That's our tip this week. So have a great week.
And be influential.